Old Norse started to name their days according to that tradition, that Roman tradition. And Monday and Sunday continue to be associated with the moon and the sun, respectively. The names sun and moon are not from Roman origins, mind that, as the Old Norse, for instance, already called the moon Mani, a male god and not a goddess, and called the sun Suna, a goddess. But they did not have days dedicated to the gods. That is a Roman tradition adopted by Old Germans and Old Norse people eventually. So Monday is Moon's Day and Sunday is Sun's Day, following the Roman tradition and a direct translation, and keeping these 2 days dedicated to the moon and the sun. Again, I repeat, Germanic peoples did not have days specifically dedicated to their gods until the Romans introduced that tradition, and so Germanic peoples started to name the days according to the Roman tradition and picking their own gods, their own Germanic gods, equivalent to the Roman gods, or directly translating, or as in the case of Sunday and Monday, day of the sun and day of the moon, Germanic peoples maintained that same line of thought, a day for the sun and a day for the moon, and the week beginning with the sun and ending with the sun, even though Germanic peoples had gods and goddesses specifically for the sun.
Brother Cards, I want to say that, man, you discussed something like this before, and it's proven what you said, that you was right. I just want you to know, we had the conversation about how people was making up deities. You was right on the money.
And for the moon, they did not name those 2 specific days after the names of their own gods of the sun and gods of the moon, but simply made a direct translation from Latin. So Sunday and Monday were not specifically dedicated to the Germanic gods of the sun and of the moon, respectively, but simply a translation from Latin to Germanic languages. Yes, you are very keen. You have very keen eyes, very observant. Indeed, this is a robe that I'm wearing. I don't know when you are going to see this video, but I have recorded this in late March of 2020. I've been in quarantine for 3 weeks, 4 weeks actually, a month, due to the coronavirus epidemic. And honestly, I don't care anymore, and I feel quite comfortable in this robe. Also, I'm not wearing pants. Alright, calm down. I'm only joking. Good gods. I almost heard the screams in your heads, shocked by the prospect of a naked Herriger. Not a pretty sight, I'm afraid, I must admit. Now, enough of silliness. Let's get started. So Friday, where is it derived from? Well, as you know, it became common knowledge that the name of this day of the week derives from the Norse goddess Freya. So supposedly it's Freya's day, Friday. But it might not be as simple as that. Please pay close attention, because this might be a little bit tricky. If indeed the name Friday has its origins in a Germanic pagan past, we should perhaps take a look at the same name but in German and Swedish, which are the 2 languages I've chosen here, since they are very similar concerning the name Friday, and it's also easier for me to pronounce, more or less. In German, Friday is Freitag, and in Swedish is Fredag. And I'll put it right here so you can better accompany this. Freitag and Frida, being a translation of the Roman Dies Veneris, the day of the goddess Venus. And this goddess has been often connected to the Norse goddess Freya. But it may actually be connected to the name of the goddess Frigg, the wife of Odin. For a very long time, it was believed that Friday derived from Freya, the Norse goddess, because, like the Roman goddess Venus, she is the goddess of love as well. Without a doubt, the need to name the days of the week is from classical influence, as said before, transported to the Germanic cultural world. So a day dedicated to a goddess of love, the Germanic peoples would surely link this day to another goddess of their own and related to love as well. So Freya would be the best candidate. However, Freya is strictly a Scandinavian goddess, strictly a Scandinavian cultural religious phenomenon, while Frigg has a broader cultural panorama among the old continental Germans. And the custom of naming of the days don't start in Scandinavia, but in fact it's a cultural influence progressively spreading during the classical period into continental Germanic territories, and from there, during the migration period, which roughly started at the beginning of the 4th century of the Common Era and lasting more or less until the late 6th century, many cultural influences reached Scandinavia in that period. The name for Friday came from continental Germanic territory into Scandinavia. So Friday would hardly come from Freya, which is, as I said, strictly a Scandinavian goddess. And as such, it would have derived from Frigg, a continental Germanic goddess, eventually introduced in Scandinavia during the migration period, along with a variety of other cultural phenomena, obviously. So first, the goddess Freya belongs to the Norse mythology, pre-Christian Scandinavian mythology, and cannot thus have been responsible for the English and German words, which, on the other hand, cannot be separated from the Scandinavian forms. And if her name, Freya, indeed had given rise to the Swedish name of this day, it would of course have had the form Fröjda and not Frieda. If we look at old Icelandic texts, however, there is indeed the form Fröjdagar for Friday, which obviously was based on the name of the goddess Freya, but not very much used actually, and without counterparts in the other Nordic Germanic languages. So in Old Icelandic, indeed the name for Friday came from Frøya, as her cult was still very important among the first Icelandic settlers, but a name that didn't quite last and had no influence over the other Nordic, Germanic and even Old English languages. So Friday may have derived from the goddess Frigg, indeed, which gave origins to the German Freitag and the Swedish Frieda. Bear it with me. The old Germanic form of the name for Frigg was Freya, or Freya, or even Freya with double I, and the Lombards called her Freya. So you start to see the similarities in the sound for the name Friday and Freitag, and in German, and Frieda in Swedish. So the Western Germanic forms of the name of this day, German Freitag, Old High German Freitag, and as well as English Friday, show the same original phonetic state of the name. In Northern Germanic language,
and it gets worse. It just gets worse. So I hope you're singing, and I'm not done yet. There's probably like 14 minutes of video left. He's going to keep explaining that all these days and months and so forth and moons and stars, it's all devil worship, y'all. That King James Version takes you to devil worship. Everybody, throw the King James Version Bible in the trash. It was written by a man who studied in demonology and trigonometry, as in King James. The first place was slavery was at Jamestown, Virginia, named after King James. Well, y'all, please wake up. Please. What time I got now? I'll check, see if I got any more time left. I might have to take a break and come back a little later. And I'm nowhere near done yet, y'all. I'm nowhere near done yet. This shit's ridiculous. Y'all, man. Listen. The next video is going to let you see even more how the Sabbath days are nothing more than an Anunnaki demon devil worship religion. You worship Mr. J, you worship Zeus, YHWH. You are basically, you're Baal Shemin. You are Baal Shemin and you don't even know it. You're saying in the name of. Didn't Rap make a video about how dumb people sound when they do that? How dumb do you feel now? Now can you change? Whitehead, can you change? And after I go ahead, anybody else that thinks that's dumb shit, keep on doing dumb shit, can y'all change? Not only that, after we go ahead and prove that it's an Anunnaki devil worship, the Sabbath days, we're going to turn around and show you that the Creator never picked a leader and that he wants to be the only leader and why. Oh, a lot of films going to get hurt. I'm nowhere near done yet. I'm just going through it, just giving it to you little by little, hoping you digest it. We might take a break. I'm not sure yet. Let's end this one. This is I think we're on number 10. Hot damn, I won't be done for a while. Peace and love.